true story. In a Bolivian community, majority of the children in the village suffered from a low height syndrome or stunting. And what they found was, in those few households where children did not suffer from stunting, the mothers ladled the soup differently. In other words, they dipped their ladles into the bottom of the pot to scoop up the nutritious ingredients to serve their families. Extending this metaphor to the classroom, Pollock argues for the need for teachers to ladle differently, to make the conceptual flip from giving feedback to creating opportunities for students to seek feedback in the classroom. Moving away from the traditional focus on teacher feedback and its evaluative role in student performance, my thesis focuses on student feedback, specifically student-initiated feedback in the English classroom in Singapore. In view of Singapore's examination and time-starved classrooms, the ministry recently signaled some important shifts in policy. In March 2015, we were greeted with newspaper headlines like, "From Dushu or study book to learning with joy for life," from teacher-centered, examination-oriented pedagogy to self-directed, independent student learning. And I argue that self-directed learning translates into students actively seeking feedback in the classroom. Thus, I plan to collaborate with teachers in surfacing their pedagogical reasoning to design tasks that incorporate opportunities for students to seek feedback from their teacher, peers, and themselves. And why tasks? Well, simply because the task is where the rubber hits the road. The tasks are the primary determinants of how learners experience the curriculum in the classroom. My flexible three-phase design-based research framework involves 2 iterations in 2 secondary to English classrooms in Singapore. Data sources include classroom observations, interviews, focus group discussions, stimulated recall, and video reflexivity. So, are our students ready for a richer diet, even if teachers ladle differently? What does self-directed student learning in the Singapore classroom look like? And what are the implications? My study attempts to answer these questions. Sharing at the REL conference recently, a secondary school teacher told me, "When I design my lesson plans now, I'll not just think about the questions I ask students, rather the questions they ask me." And with that, soup